bit of a random video today. I thought I'd show you how I clean out my blind horse's eye socket. Now, this is Toby, and he had his eye removed about 3 or 4 years ago now. It's been quite some time. And what I found is when the weather changes, especially at the moment, because we're just coming into spring and the weather has gone from being really wet and muddy to being really dry and dusty. And I find that the eye socket gets like a build up of like a crust, which, you know, doesn't sound great, but well, that's what it is. And I find that if I don't remove it, then he will scrub on posts and scrub the eye socket, and he has actually cut that area around his eye from doing that over the years. So now I find if I just do it maybe even once a month, then it prevents that from happening. Now, I don't use any fancy tools. I just use 2 face brushes. I've got one that's got quite firm bristles, and then I've got one with quite soft bristles. So I use the firm one first and the soft one after. I have tried hosing the eye and cleaning it out like that in the past, but he just doesn't like it. Obviously, if your horse doesn't mind doing that, then that's fine, but you do need to be careful, because that skin that's in there is only the eyelid that's been sewn shut. So you do have to be careful with what you use. So I start out with just the harder face brush, and especially this time of year, they're very itchy. So I make it out to Toby that he's actually just having a really nice scratch, because if I suddenly just attack his eye and scrub out his eye, then he's not going to be very pleased about that. So all I do is I go round in a circle inside the eye, and as you can see, he really does like that scrub. So just do a light circle motion with the harder face brush first. And he really does like that. And I just change it up a bit. So I scrub the outside of his eye, even though that doesn't need scrubbing. But then it doesn't make him all moody, especially at his age, because he's 44 and he can be quite cantankerous and doesn't like being messed with. So you can see that that looks better already, but to really clean it out, you need the softer brush. So this one just has really nice soft bristles, really soft. And I do exactly the same thing again and just do little circular motions just to get the last bits of dust out. So again, start with just doing the outside of the eye. So I don't want to shock him and him suddenly go, no, I'm not into any of that. And then I just twist the brush round in the socket, like so. And then if we just have a look inside now, it's so much better. See, it's nice and clear. And you can see where the eyelid was sewn shut all along here. I do also like to just give them a wipe out with a baby wipe that I have swilled out in some warm soapy water. You just do the outside first and then the inside, and it can be quite dirty straight away, and he's not usually that keen on having this done, and I think it's because of the, you know, scrubbing around in there. So you don't have to do it, but it does give you that extra bit of clean. And there you have it, completely done. What did it take? 5 minutes at the most? So if you just do that once a month, it stops that build up, it stops any itching, and then it stops them damaging the area around the socket, which is, well, that's the only problems that I've had, to be honest, since he's had the eye taken out. And you have to remember that the eyelid was sewn up in that area, so you have to be careful of the line and of how thin the skin is. So let's do a bit of a before and after, and yeah, definitely a massive difference. So thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more random videos like this, then why not think about subscribing? And until the next time, bye-bye.